I remember the exact moment my entire world shifted. It was a Wednesday afternoon when my girlfriend, Natalie, texted me, "I'm staying at my best friend Steven's place for a week. Don't be insecure." My stomach dropped, but a quiet, almost terrifying clarity washed over me. What she didn't know was that with those words, she didn't just push a boundary. She detonated our entire relationship. Natalie, who was 29, and I, 31, had been together for 2 years. She'd lived in my apartment for the past 10 months, gradually. Steven? Oh, Steven was her best friend from college. The guy who only ever texted her after 10 p.m. The same dude who'd accidentally called her beautiful at her birthday party. The one who'd told me I was lucky to have her while shamelessly staring at her chest. I just stared at my phone. A full minute passed. She wasn't asking for my input. She was telling me, and preemptively labeling any normal concern I might have as insecurity. The audacity of it. I typed back, "Have fun." She replied with heart emojis and a "Thanks for understanding, babe. You're the best." Yeah, the best, all right. I left work early that day. I wasn't angry, not exactly. It was more like a stark, blinding light had been shown on everything. This wasn't the first time she'd tested the limits. Last month, it was just drinks with an ex to catch up. Before that, a work conference that turned out to be totally optional with a male coworker for a whole weekend. Every single time I expressed discomfort, I was controlling, insecure, or toxic. And every single time, I eventually caved, apologized for my trust issues, and she'd reward me with a few days of affection before the next test. But this, staying at another man's apartment for a week and then telling me not to be insecure about it, that wasn't just a boundary push. That was a full-blown boundary demolition. I got home, and for the first time, I truly saw my apartment. Her stuff was everywhere. Skincare products had colonized my bathroom. Her clothes took up 80% of my closet. Those useless decorative pillows of hers. Her meal prep containers practically owned my fridge. She'd moved in so slowly, you barely noticed. First a drawer, then half the closet, then her mail started arriving. But she was never on the lease. Never contributed to rent because she was saving up. Her name wasn't on any utilities. This was my apartment. I pulled out my laptop and got to work. First, the Wi-Fi password. Changed. She worked from home 3 days a week. Good luck with that. Second, mail forwarding. All her mail, credit card bills, everything, now routed straight to her parents' house in the suburbs. Let them wonder. Third, I started packing. Her obvious belongings, clothes, makeup, that collection of succulents she somehow managed to kill constantly, all went into neatly labeled boxes. I'm not a monster, just incredibly practical. Fourth, streaming passwords. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max. She'd been mooching off my accounts for 2 years. All changed. Fifth, her. As my emergency contact at work and the gym, gone. My brother was in. By Thursday morning, my apartment was transformed. It was clean, minimal, and utterly, unequivocally mine again. Like a hurricane had passed, and I was finally clearing the debris. Throughout the week, she kept texting me updates, acting like everything was perfectly normal. "Steven says hi. Making him dinner tonight. The poor thing can barely feed himself, lol. Watching movies on his couch. Miss you." I replied to each with variations of cool and nice. She didn't even notice the difference. Too busy playing house with Steven, I guess. Then, the dreaded Thursday arrived. She texted that morning, coming home around 6 o'clock. "Can't wait to see you, baby. Steven's feeling much better." I didn't reply. I was sitting on my couch, the one now free of her ridiculous throw pillows, eating Chinese takeout straight from the container. Then I heard it, the fumbling at the lock, or rather, the desperate attempt to get her key in the lock. The scratching went on for what felt like an eternity, maybe 30 seconds. "Ryan? Ryan, the door won't open." I walked over and opened it halfway. She stood there, weekend bag in hand, looking confused and already a little annoyed. "Hey, your key doesn't work," she said, try to push past me. I didn't budge. "Yeah," I said calmly. "I had the locks changed." She laughed nervously. "What? Why? Did something happen?" "You moved out," I stated, so I figured I should update security. Her face was a kaleidoscope of emotions: confusion, annoyance, then a forced, saccharine smile. Babe, I was just helping Steven for a week. I didn't move out. You stayed at another man's apartment for a week, I countered. Sounds like moving out to me. That's when she rolled her eyes. Oh my God, are you seriously being this petty? Let me in, Ryan. I'm tired. I just looked at her. Your stuff's in boxes by the door. Your mail now goes to your parents' house. The Wi-Fi password's changed. I'd appreciate it if you could collect everything now. The fake smile vanished. Are you breaking up with me? Overstaying with a friend? I'm establishing boundaries, I told her. You made your choice to stay with Steven. I made mine to reclaim my space. And that's when the rage started. You insecure little man. Steven is gay. I actually laughed. Steven's gay? The same Steven who dated Michelle for 3 years? The one who hit on my coworker at the Christmas party? That gay Steven. Her face turned a fiery red. He's bi, but he's not interested in me. Cool story, I said, completely unmoved. Your boxes are getting heavy. Need help carrying them down. She tried pushing past me again. I stood firm. Natalie, you're not a resident here anymore. Please take your things. She started yelling. I've been living here for 10 months. You can't just kick me out. You voluntarily left to stay elsewhere for a week. You're not on a lease. This is my apartment. Would you like me to call building security to help with your boxes? Then came the tears. Those manipulative, crocodile tears that usually made me cave. Baby, please. This is crazy. I love you. I was just helping a friend. Then Steven can help you now, I told her, with moving. Her phone buzzed. She looked at it, and her face went utterly pale. Why is my mom texting me about receiving my Nordstrom bill? Mail forwarding, I explained. Since you don't live here anymore, you forwarded my mail? Yes, to your permanent address, your parents' house. She started typing furiously on her phone, then stopped dead. The Wi-Fi isn't working. That's for residents only, I said. I work from home tomorrow. Sounds like a you problem, I shrugged. Maybe Steven has good Wi-Fi. The next hour was a horrifying symphony of manipulation. First, the tears. How could you do this to us? Then, pure rage. You're a pathetic, controlling psycho. Bargaining. Just let me stay tonight and we can talk tomorrow. Threats. I'll tell everyone what an insecure baby you are. And finally, love bombing. Baby, you're the only man I've ever loved. I remained absolutely unmoved. Eventually, she called Steven. I heard her sigh. Can you come get me? No now, because Ryan's being psychotic. Just come get me. 20 minutes later, Steven pulled up in his Prius. He actually had the audacity to come to my door. Bro, this is really unnecessary. Nothing happened. I look him dead in the eye. Bro, she's your problem now. Enjoy your house guest. Natalie was already dragging boxes to his car, shooting me death glares. As I loaded the last one, she came back to me. You're going to regret this. We were perfect together. We really weren't, I replied. You just had free rent and Wi-Fi. I was the best thing that ever happened to you. The best thing that happened to me was buying this apartment before we met. In my name only, I calmly informed her. That's when she slapped me. Not hard, but enough to sting. Steven pulled her away. Come on, Nat, he's not worth it. As they drove off, I touched my cheek. And I smiled. She just upgraded this from a civil separation to assault. And the camera in the hallway? It definitely caught that. If you're still with me on this wild ride, and trust me, it only gets wilder, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. More unbelievable stories are always coming your way, and you won't want to miss them. Friday morning, the bombardment began. 62 texts from Natalie overnight. They range from apologetic novels to one-word insults. My personal favorite? You'll die alone with your stupid, minimalist apartment. I screenshotted everything, but I didn't respond. Then came a call to my workplace. My boss pulled me aside. Ryan, your ex-girlfriend called, said there's a domestic situation and you've made her homeless. I showed him the texts, including the one where she explicitly said she was staying with Steven by choice, and then the slap video from my hallway camera. He winced. Yeah, we're blocking her number. You might want to consider a restraining order. By noon, her flying monkeys started to arrive. Her sister Melissa texted, "What did you do?" Natalie is hysterical. My reply, me? She chose to live with Steven for a week. I chose to make it permanent. Melissa, you're pathetic. Me? Your sister told me not to be insecure while she moved in with another man. I took her advice and moved on. Then her best friend, Tara, chimed in. You changed the locks while she was helping a friend in need? That's illegal. My response was swift and factual. She's not on the lease. She left voluntarily. I have it in writing that she was staying with Steven. Would you like me to forward the text to you? Radio silence. The silence after that was truly golden. After that, the Real Entertainment arrived on Saturday. Natalie discovered the full extent of the streaming service situation. She tried logging into Netflix at Steven's place. Denied. Hulu. Nope. HBO. Forget it. She actually created a group chat with me and Steven. Ryan, I need the streaming passwords. That's just petty. My reply, those are my accounts. Get your own. Steven, poor Steven, piped up, dude, just share the passwords. I shot back, just buy your own subscriptions, dude. You got a live-in girlfriend now. Congrats. Steven left the chat almost immediately. Sunday brought a new, surprising development. Natalie's dad called me. Richard had always been cool with me, so I answered. Ryan, what's going on? Natalie's mother is driving me insane. Something about mail and locks. I calmly explained the whole situation. The week at Steven's, the don't be insecure text, my response. There was a long pause. So, she stayed at another man's place for a week? Yes, sir. And told you not to be insecure about it. Correct. Another pause. You have her stuff all boxed up? She took it to Steven's. Good, he said. And Ryan, you dodged a bullet, son. Plot twist I definitely didn't see coming. Monday was when things truly escalated. I got home from work to find Natalie in the hallway with a locksmith. Miss, I can't just break into an apartment because you say you live here, the locksmith was explaining. I've been living here for 10 months, she shrieked. I approached calmly. Is there a problem here? The locksmith looked visibly relieved. Sir, are you the resident? I am, I confirmed. This is my ex-girlfriend who moved out last week. I showed him my ID and lease. Natalie had neither. Ma'am, I can't help you, he said and quickly left. Natalie turned on me, seething. I'm calling the police. Please do, I invited. I have video of you assaulting me, plus text showing you voluntarily left. This is harassment now. She called my bluff. The cops showed up about 20 minutes later. They listened to both sides. Natalie claimed illegal eviction. I, on the other hand, showed them the lease, my name only. Her text about staying with Steven. The video of her slapping me. The fact that she'd already removed all her belongings. The older officer turned to her. Ma'am, you have no legal claim to this apartment. You left voluntarily. You're not on the lease, and you've already collected your belongings. If you continue harassing this man, you'll be arrested. Arrested for what? She sputtered. You assaulted him on camera, he replied. He could press charges right now. She looked at me, pure panic in her eyes. I just shrugged. I just want to be left alone. The officers made her leave. One pulled me aside. Get a restraining order. This type doesn't give up easy. He was right. Tuesday, she tried a new approach. She posted on social media about being suddenly homeless after 2 years with a narcissist, tagging all our mutual friends. She even put up pictures of us from happier times with captions about not knowing who someone really is. The comments were initially sympathetic, until my buddy Jake commented, didn't you just move in with Steven last week to help him for a whole week while in a relationship? The tide turned quickly. People started questioning her story. She deleted the post within hours. Wednesday brought the funniest development yet. Steven texted me, Bro, you need to take her back. My reply, no thanks. She's driving me crazy. She doesn't work, doesn't clean, just complains about you all day. Sounds like a you problem. I typed back. This isn't funny. She's expecting me to pay for everything. She ordered $200 of sushi last night. Better upgrade that Hulu account, I advised. She likes to binge watch. Seriously, he pleaded. My final message. You wanted her. You got her. Enjoy. Thursday, exactly 1 week after she first returned, the extinction burst happened. I was at work when security called me. Natalie was in the lobby of my building, telling anyone who'd listened that I was an abuser who'd stolen her home. I came down, my phone recording. Natalie, you need to leave. This is my home. You moved out. You live with Steven now. That was temporary, she shrieked. So, is this? I said to security. Please escort her out. As they removed her, she screamed, You'll pay for this. I'll ruin you. That was enough. I went straight to the courthouse and filed for a restraining order. I included all the evidence, texts, videos, witness statements. It was granted temporarily, with a hearing set for next month. The temporary restraining order being served sent Natalie nuclear. She couldn't contact me directly, so she went after everything else. First, she tried to get me fired, calling my HR department, claiming I was dangerous and unstable. They asked for evidence. She had none. Meanwhile, I had a paper trail of her harassment. HR ended up sending her a cease and desist letter. Next, she went after my reputation, creating fake dating profiles with my photos and offensive bios. My brother found them and reported them all. We even tracked the IP address, all created from Steven's apartment. More evidence for the permanent restraining order. Then came the financial warfare. She tried to access my credit cards. She'd memorized numbers from online shopping. But thanks to two-factor authentication, she was caught immediately. The attempted fraud just added to my legal case. Steven, meanwhile, was completely falling apart. He called me from a different number. I'd blocked his main one. Please, man, you have to help me. She's insane. I told you not to contact me. I reminded him. She's destroying my apartment. She threw my PlayStation out the window. Sounds expensive, I replied. She's saying if I kick her out, she'll tell everyone I assaulted her. Wow, I said. That sounds familiar. Almost like a pattern of behavior. What do I do? Get a lawyer? I told him. Document everything. And maybe next time, don't help steal someone else's girlfriend. He hung up. 2 weeks later, the permanent restraining order hearing arrived. Natalie showed up with her hair dyed black, wearing glasses I'd never seen, trying to look serious and reformed. She told the judge I'd made her homeless through manipulation and abuse. The judge asked for evidence. She had none. I, however, had 247 threatening texts, video of the assault, police reports, witness statements, proof of harassment at work, the fake dating profiles, and the attempted credit card fraud. The judge didn't hesitate. A 2-year restraining order was granted. Natalie started sobbing. Your Honor, where am I supposed to live? The judge's reply was ice cold. That's not Mr. Ryan's concern, ma'am. You chose to leave his apartment. The consequences are yours to handle. Outside the courthouse, her mom was waiting. She looked utterly exhausted. Ryan, she said quietly, I'm sorry. We didn't raise her to be like this. I just nodded and left. It's been 3 months since all of this went down. Here's where everyone ended up. Natalie, last I heard through the grapevine, was kicked out by Steven after she cheated on him with his roommate. She moved back in with her parents at 29 years old. She posted about starting fresh and leaving toxic people behind before making her profiles private. Apparently, she's working part-time at a juice bar now because she got fired from her remote job for, you guessed it, never actually working. Steven tried to reconnect with our friend group. Got shut down hard. Nobody wants to hang with the dude who enabled this whole mess. He moved to a studio apartment after his roommate left, still paying off the PlayStation Natalie destroyed. Me? My apartment's never been better. I turned her former closet space into a home office. And I actually started dating someone new. I met Anna at a bookstore. When I told her this entire insane story on our 3rd date, she just grinned and said, So, you're telling me you have strong boundaries in your own place? Marry me. We both laughed, but honestly, she's pretty great. She has her own apartment. We're taking things slow. And the best part? She actively makes fun of people who use insecure as a manipulation tactic. Richard, Natalie's dad, actually reached out last month. Invited me for a beer. He told me Natalie's been in therapy and was finally diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. He said she's refusing treatment, claiming the therapist doesn't understand her. You got lucky, he told me, a profound sadness in his voice. My wife and I have been dealing with this for 29 years. At least you got out after 2. The restraining order is still active. She tried to contact me once through a fake Instagram account, but I reported it and she got a warning from the police. Haven't heard anything since. My brother summed it up best. She played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. Living rent-free for 10 months, then throwing it all away to play house with some dude for a week? That's next level dumb. Looking back, the red flags were everywhere. Never had her own place. Always lived with boyfriends or parents. Every ex was crazy or abusive. Constantly tested boundaries, then gaslit me when I pushed back. Zero financial responsibility, but expensive tastes. Used emotional manipulation like a weapon. The week with Steven wasn't the problem. It was the symptom of a much, much bigger issue. She genuinely believed she could do whatever she wanted, and I'd just accept it. She'd gotten away with it before, multiple times probably, but not this time. So, to anyone out there in a similar situation, when someone tells you don't be insecure about obviously disrespectful behavior, they're telling you exactly who they are. Believe them, and then protect yourself. Don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm, especially when they're already at someone else's house, warming themselves by their fire. Oh, and always keep your apartment in your name only. That saved me from what could have been a legal nightmare. One more thing. That $50 hallway camera? It saved me thousands in potential legal fees. Always have cameras in common areas if it's legal where you live. Some people might say I should have communicated better, but I did communicate. She just didn't like what I had to say. There's a huge difference between communication and compliance. She wanted compliance, and that's something I just couldn't give her anymore. So tell me, what would you have done if you'd been in my shoes? Have you ever had to draw a line like this? I really want to hear your thoughts down in the comments.